My name is Mike Crooks, and I have been practicing litigation for the last 33 years, the last 15 or so of which have involved a fair amount of mediation. I would say 50% of my practice now is dedicated to mediating cases. I think I've tried about 100 jury trials, and I've mediated thousands of cases. Sympathetic evaluative, and what I mean by that is I evaluate the case for the parties and give them my thoughts, but I also think it's an opportunity to give people an experience to state their case and indicate why it is that they're aggrieved and how they want me to solve their problem. The types of cases I typically mediate are personal injury, products liability cases. I would say that constitutes about 50% of my mediation practice. Another 20% is professional negligence cases, either medical, legal, and sometimes accounting malpractice. Another 20% involves commercial or business disputes, and then, believe it or not, 10% are family business breakups and farm breakups. I think I'm successful at mediation because I have an in-depth understanding of what goes on in the courtroom. Like I said earlier, I've tried in excess of 100 jury trials, and so I know how the evidence is likely to play out, and I can predict for the parties what I think is likely to happen so that they can evaluate whether it makes sense for them to resolve the case at what we can accomplish that day, or go on and let 12 people they don't know resolve the case. What I would like the parties to do prior to coming to the mediation is at least make sure that the counsel has communicated with one another and that they are confident that both sides are going to give a fair effort to resolving the case. The other thing I would like parties to do in personal injury type cases is make certain that they've talked to the health insurers and the subrogated carriers and that they understand the respective strengths and weaknesses of the case so that when I call them during the mediation process, I don't surprise them and they're ready to deal. A parting thought, I would encourage folks to give serious consideration to Zoom mediation. Since COVID, Zoom mediation has increased significantly, and I would say now probably 75% of the cases I mediate are via Zoom. And frankly, the success rate is either the same or higher as in person. And I've been trying to figure out why, and I think I've come to the conclusion that people feel comfortable in a Zoom setting because they're either at their own lawyer's office or they're at home, and we get the involvement of more executives and claims adjusters who are willing to participate by Zoom rather than travel here from afar.